Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning, and we are live 5 days a week at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. But because it's YouTube, you can watch us whenever. And we are here talking mindset. There's a holy trinity of health. It is mind, it is body, it is soul. And we're probably familiar with, I would guess you would say, yeah, this is what I do for my physical activity. And I meditate, I pray, I stretch, whatever that may be to, you know, mind, body, and soul. So you got the body, you've got the soul. But what are we doing for our mind? The mind is the most important tool that you have. It will help you through every situation. If you understand the power of your mind, then you can tap into the life that you want. And I'm coming from a perspective of I was there where I was not sitting in the driver's seat of my life once upon a time. And I said, gosh, isn't there more to life than this? And I went on this incredible quest. And as soon as I did, I started to uncover what was going on inside of me. I began connecting with that person internally. And I started to understand my mind and how to use it to work for me and not against me, because it was working against me. And I then elevated my confidence. I noticed that there was something on my face. That's what that was all about. And then I elevated my confidence. So I was able to take everything that I learned, everything that was going on inside, and fuel myself so that I had confidence to do, to be, to get everything that I want in life, because you need confidence to go do it. It gets you into action. So that was it. I connected to myself and my mind, and I elevated my confidence, all by making the decision that I was going to be in the driver's seat of my life. So that's what we're doing here. We're getting in the driver's seat. So when you walk out the door, you're like, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. And when we start to normalize and hear these things repeatedly, then when they happen in real life, we say, oh, wait, hold on. I remember I heard about that. Because when we know better, we can do better. So that's what this show is all about. So that you know better, so that you can do better, so that you can have more, be more, get more. I want you to have the most of all the things in your life, because life is too short to suck. Let's not kid ourselves. So this week we've been talking about different ways that maybe you've been playing small in your life. So we've talked about different things that can keep you small, whether or not they've been relevant to you. But I always encourage you to take a look inwardly and say, hey, where does this apply to me? Because sometimes you may think, oh no, that's not me. But then when you hear about it and you hear the way we talk about it on the show, you might start to then realize, hey, in my life, yeah, actually doing that a little bit. So that's when you make changes. So you just, the first step is to acknowledge and to know what's going on within you, and then you make some changes. That's all it is. So if you have not yet hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now, because this is more than just a good show that I want people to listen to once or twice. We want people to be tapping in every single morning, and that's how we enhance the algorithm. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get rolling. So we talked about this week anger, judgment, comparing, all different things that if you get stuck in them, if we're judging other people, they're actually keeping us small. If we are angry, they're actually keeping us small. And by small, I mean, we're not stepping into our biggest potential. Yesterday, we talked about blame. No CEO of a company is expected to place blame when events are happening, where we're finding that, and blame is really the responsibility. We're going to find who's responsible. I mean, that's one thing. We could go around and find fault, but we're kind of just wasting energy, aren't we? There's nothing that can be done about the past. What would be more powerful is if we stepped into our full potential, our CEO, what's expected of us, and we just found a solution and we moved on. Now, you may say, I have found, the person responsible, within the company, and, you may make some administrative decisions based off of performance, but we don't want to sit in a state of blame. Okay, and now what? Now we just know who did it. Why don't you instead of being the victim, because that's what it is when we're blaming, we're the victim. Oh, nope, they did it. I had nothing to do with this. Is get in the driver's seat and start to look for solutions. So we talked yesterday about, let's not get emotional over these things. This isn't the blame game, somebody's getting in trouble. We're just going to grow from these things. We're going to learn from these things. We're going to correct things. We're going to fix things. We're going to do what the CEO is expected to do. But this is your life. And maybe you are legitimately a CEO and you can apply this into the office as well. Wherever that applies, you can use it in the office, you can use it at your home, whatever it is. But I want you to be the CEO of your world. So today we're talking about excuses, which are very similar to blame. But blame is who we're finding the responsibility. Well, maybe it's not a person, but what is responsible, who is responsible. And excuses are the why. Well, the dog ate my homework. That is a very classic excuse of why you don't have your homework. Yes. Well, I was late to work because there was an accident. And legitimately, there may be things that, yeah, there was an accident and therefore you are later. And we're going to talk through how we can get around that and why we need to stop making excuses because they are keeping you small. So, why do we even make excuses? Well, sometimes it's to protect our ego. A lot of us have a really high ego, and I would encourage you to keep this at the door. Think of an ego like a big wall, like people can't get to you. Oh, I'm so good at all of the things. Do you think that that's relatable? Do you think that whether it is somebody that you're interested on a, personal level, maybe it's somebody you're trying to date, or maybe it's a friend of yours, maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's your children, your boss, if you're just like right all the time and they never see the human side of you, because no human is perfect. Sometimes we aim for this idea of perfection. Oh, this is what people want. I don't know. Is it? Are you really perfect at everything? I don't know. I think perfect is boring, to be honest. But I know sometimes you're at work and you have something you're working on and your boss wants you to get it done. I get it. But it's okay for you to learn and grow along the way. In fact, it's one of the characteristics of a narcissist that a narcissist will never show. And I'm not calling you a narcissist, I'm just pointing out what narcissists are. Narcissists don't ever want to be seen as less than perfect because they are perfect. They are all the things. Do you know any narcissists? I have a handful. I have like 3 that come to mind. And it's hard to relate to them. I don't live in this perfect world. I don't. I fall down, I scrape my knee, I get back up, I dust it off, and I keep going. Then I fall down again, and I get back up. And then I go, oh my goodness, maybe I shouldn't wear stiletto heels in gravel. Maybe that's why I'm falling. Okay, let's learn from this and do better next time. And that's how we really should be looking at our lives. We should be putting our ego aside. Well, this happened because this happened because of this. So we're protecting our ego, which is why we're making excuses. But how much time and energy are you putting in to all these excuses? Let's say it's just 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Start to add up all of those excuses over time. How much time do you think you've spent making excuses and skirting the issue? I think a lot of us would find that we've spent a lot of time making excuses. And what do excuses get you? Just think, be honest with yourself. What do excuses get you? Nothing. I can't think of anything other than protecting your ego. You're not advancing yourself. You're not, oh, well, you have all these excuses. Okay, well, now you are winning. It's still not done, or it's still not accomplished, or it's still, so you've only protected your ego. We've got to stop being prideful. And although we're not sitting here saying I'm a prideful person, We can find pride because we're protecting our ego in so many situations. And I think it takes a bigger person to say, hey, you know, I didn't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do this. Can you show me? Hey, can I get help? When you're able to show this vulnerable side to you, that's where people are going to connect with you. My three narcissists that came to mind, I have tried connecting with these individuals, and they're just so me, that having a conversation, it just doesn't work. It doesn't. So how are you coming across to people? By protecting your ego. And how much more are you allowing people to come in when you ask for help, when you show that vulnerable side to you? When you know better, do better. So that's one of the reasons you may be making excuses, is you're protecting your ego. Or legit, you don't want to do something. Oh, I don't want to go to the gym. Oh, look, I have laundry to fold. Oh, look, I have and we procrastinate because we find all these other things because legitimately we don't want to do something. No, I mean, I don't know what it is. Is it something that you need to get done? It sounds like maybe. I mean, do we have to work out? No, but it is part of the mind, body, soul. And we know that that's the holy trinity of health. And you need to have all three in order for you to be in optimum health. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but you should. You should get out and do a little bit of something. So why are you making excuses? Maybe it's something that legitimately you can outsource, which, by the way, exercise is not one of those things. Yeah, could you just do that for me? Yeah, that'd be great. Not something you can outsource. You are the only one that can do that. Oh, wait, that's funny. Mindset work. You're the only one that can do that too. Oh, and taking care of your soul. Oh, can't outsource those. You're the only one that's responsible for all three. Isn't that funny how that works? But like your toilets, you can. You can. So instead of making excuses and wasting more time, you should either just do them or outsource them. Maybe that's something that you can do. But by you making excuses, you're wasting time, space in your brain, energy. Look, time is something you can't get back. I can't get back. And every minute that is ticking is time that I can't get back. And I think about, man, how much time have I just wasted on different things? But you control all of those. When you are making excuses, you give away control. Well, I can't because this. I can't because this. Get in the driver's seat. Get in the driver's seat of your life. And if legitimately you say, I don't want to scrub toilets, then find somebody to do them, but get it done. Because that is what people expect of the CEO, to get it done. The CEO may be saying, look, I do not want to clean toilets. And you know what? That's okay. That's the CEO's prerogative. The CEO wants to outsource that. That's fine. That's great. You can too. But you making excuses is telling your brain that, A, that's okay. It's okay to make excuses. And you know what? That becomes a habit. Third, why? So you're protecting your ego, maybe legit, you don't want to do things. And yeah, it could be that you legitimately are in a habit of making excuses. I forgot where I was going there for a second. Did you see me pause? Was it, what was that? Where was I going? That maybe you are in a habit. And that's where I was in my life. I had habits of blaming other people, judging other people. I was in the habit of being angry. I was in the habit of making excuses, all the things that we talked about this week. And guess what? I wasn't getting anywhere by deflecting and looking at all the other people. Because remember, I talked about those three things that you can't outsource, and that's you. And the only way to your happiness is through you. The only way to your success is through you. The only way to have the perfect life, to get more, to do the things is you. So when you're deflecting and making excuses and looking outside to you, you're not growing. You're not getting things done. You're not taking that responsibility like people would expect of a CEO. So in that case, all of those things I just mentioned, you're just an employee. You just come in, whatever, or you don't. Say, hey, you know what? I need a sick day today, whatever. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the one that gets things done no matter what? And look, I get it. You might say, yeah, but I was late because there was a train. Okay. Why don't you start to ask yourself this question? What can I learn from this? What can I do differently? Where is my responsibility in this situation? Because if you don't have responsibility in the situation, then you've allowed all of these external things to impact your life. So here's an example. I used to have this train that the train didn't move. It came every day. Now, whether or not it came at the same time or not, I don't know. But I often got stopped at this train and I would get really frustrated. Oh, stupid train all the time, all the time. What an inconvenience to my life. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever. Okay. Legit. It's, maybe you've got to get into the office. But what could I do better? Few things come to mind. I could not take that path. There are a lot of ways to drive, and I could choose not to take that route into work. That's one. I could choose to leave earlier. Like, don't leave it to where you only have 30 seconds. Sometimes we want to maximize our time so much that we give ourselves 30 seconds to get from the parking lot into that meeting. If a train stopping you is going to make you late for that meeting, then leave earlier. Take control. Don't let that train be the one that's going to stop you, that's going to get in your way. So yeah, take a different path. Leave earlier. Know the train schedule. Do you think I even looked one time to see if the train had a schedule? I never did. But I would get angry every day. Why? Why was I allowing myself to play small? Because it was a habit. I didn't know any better. I didn't know that I should have responsibility and ownership in this. That in order for me to become my most powerful version of myself, I have to put my ego aside and I have to just get things done, take my emotions out and say, you know what? Let's think smarter. Let's not allow other people to dictate how I feel. How about I say how I feel? Let me say how I run my life, not the train, not anybody else. That's what I want for you. So it's just training our brains to know what it looks like. And whether that's you are judging other people or you're blaming other people, you're making excuses, whatever that looks like, comparing, whatever that looks like for you, you may very well be doing things that are keeping you from your biggest potential. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't worry about all the things. Look for where you can grow. Look for where you can improve. Stay in your lane. Don't worry about all these other people. You're just going to be throwing them your energy. And wouldn't you rather that energy for you? What if you just had 10 minutes back a day and you were able to just close your eyes on the couch and just sit there and meditate or read a book or take a walk or do something with that time? You're giving these yahoos, you're giving these strangers, you're giving these other people your time, your attention, your energy, because you are comparing, because you are judging, because you are making excuses, because you are blaming and doing all the things. Stop. take control over your life. You are your CEO. You can make the changes if you know and you acknowledge and you recognize when they start to happen. So start to pay attention when these things are coming up in your life and say, you know what? Okay, no more excuses. If I don't want to be doing something, is it something I can outsource? Is it something I can just take off my plate? Or should I just do it? Stop wasting time. Time is so precious, so precious. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that. It's Friday if you're watching this live or if you watch it today. So go do some self-care this Saturday, or Sunday or both, whatever, self-care weekend, with all this now extra time that you have in your life. So I will see you back here on Monday, same time, same place. Have a beautiful weekend. Go be the most powerful person, whatever that means to you. Love you. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe button. I'll see you Monday.